Hi, everybody in first and second grade. In this week's computer class, we are going to talk about a couple things, and there aren't any that are brand new today. That's the first time you'll ever see or hear them. All of you should have seen or heard of these before. This is to refresh our memory, maybe go on something that we haven't been going on as much that we should, and something at the end that I think is a little bit enjoyable, but also is educational. All right, so I want to recap how to get on two sites. And after we do that, I want you guys to take time to do them. In first and second grade, if we had a year where we were in school, like is more typical, and you guys came to the computer lab, we would do this about once a month or so, where we went on and practiced getting on and using Raz Kids and Xtramath. Now, those are things that you guys should be doing regularly. I'm not sure if your regular classroom teachers mention them. Hopefully they do, but we'll take a little time today to go on those and then look at one other site that I think you've seen before with me, and that you guys will like. So first, let's talk about Raz Kids. Now, you can get to Raz Kids by typing in the address or through Weymouth Portal, which you know is on that home page of the school's website, a little bit down on the left. And Raz Kids is not in the computers and technology section. It's actually in the language arts section. Okay, so remember to look under there. There's Raz Kids. So whether you got to it by typing in or clicking on the link, you want to go to that kids login, and then you're going to need your teacher's username. Now, right now, this is in another class, right? So this is as if I am in a different teacher's class. I would want to click change teacher. If you see your teacher's name and you're in the right class, you might not need to do that. But if you need to, you might need to type in, and since this is for first and second grade, either Mr. Kitachai's class name, which is J. Kitachai 0, and you can look at it and how it's spelled right there, pause it if you need to, and that will get you into his class. And if you are in second grade, then you would need to be in Mrs. Sack's class, which is S. Sack 0. So you can look at it there, pause it if you need to, and then go into that class. And then the next step would be finding your name and going ahead and using Raz Kids, right? So I'm going to go, I actually have a sample account set up in another teacher's class. So I'm just going to go in and do a for example, and I'm going to do Mrs. Lopez's class where I have a sample account. Now, you guys should know this very well. You should know this website, know how to use it. But I'll recap that the main thing you want to do when you go to this site is go to the level up section. That's what's going to get you the most star points. That's where you're going to read things that are the most on your level. That's where you're going to get the best practice with reading, which is what this website is all about. Now, in this one, this example account that I have, you might see that for each book selection, like say for instance this book Spring right here, it has an icon for headphones, which is where it will read it to you, and the book, which is where you read it to yourself. It's missing the little icon for the quizzes, because once it gets to a certain level, I have it set up as if I was a kindergartner for a sample, but once you get to a certain level, there's also that option for the quizzes. So you guys can do each of those activities, right? And I would like you to do them for real. Pick books that you like, pick books that you feel like reading, listen to it, read it on your own for good reading practice. And if you want to take that quiz in the end, you can, and that will get you the most star points. Now, listening to it is fairly straightforward and simple. I just want to mention very quickly that if you are reading it on your own, you should know that you use these arrows at the bottom to navigate, to go turn the pages and go to the next page. And this is a really simple book, so you guys could probably read this one with no problem. It says the ball. But if I ever got to a point where there was a word I was not sure of, like let's say it gets to this word, the birds, what are these things? Well, I would use my picture clues. I would use strategies like sounding it out, chunking it out, looking at the letters and letter blends and vowel sounds. But if I really wasn't sure, I could give it a click. I could then click on Hear Word,
Flowers,
and I talked over it, but
flowers,
it will read it to you, right? And that applies to this, and it also has a little speaker icon on the quizzes if you need anything read to you. So this shouldn't be a site where you're going, Mom and Dad, I don't know this word. What does this word say? What does it mean? How do you say this, or what does it spell? Because you can find that all out for yourself. Now, one other thing that you might want to do is go back and go to the star zone. Let me point out one quick thing. For most websites and going around the internet, you guys know these buttons up here are back button or forward button, refresh. With Raz Kids, once you're signed in, you don't really want to use those because you might wind up being signed out or going somewhere you didn't want, or it might not work the best for you. Actually use the ones that Raz Kids has set up on the site, where right here it says back to level up, and then right here it says back to reading. And then I can see down here the star zone, and that's where I go. And however many stars I have. Now, you do need to do the reading first, because if you don't have many stars or no stars at all, you can't do too much here. But once you have done it and you've collected stars, and I've seen kids with 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, a lot, you can go and buy things and change around your avatar, or I used to call it robot, or you can change around or add things to your rocket. All right, so those are two really fun things to do. So I did this quickly, tried to go through it quickly, but take some time now, or after this video, or pause it, whatever you'd like, and spend some time on Raz Kids, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, focusing on that reading and doing a really good job in getting stars, and then going to the star zone if you want. All right, now the next site that I'm going to talk about, I would like you guys to also go on and do some practice, and I'm going to talk about this one a little more quickly, and that is Xtramath. Now, Xtramath is over here in the math section of Portal. Or if you were to go to type it in, you can. The only thing to know is it's not spelled EXTR like the word extra. It's just XTRAMATH, Xtramath. So however you get to it, the website is going to look like this, right? And what you want to do is first click sign in up at the top. And at the beginning of the year, everybody should have gotten I know because I gave them out, a flyer sent home with your Xtramath login information. Now, from that page at the beginning of the year, there was an enrollment code, and just to show you the difference, if you were in school, in my classroom, or in your other teacher's classroom, you would click on this classroom tab. When you're home, what you want to do is have this, either click on it or have it automatically there, to the green tab that says students, and then put in the information you need to, which is on that enrollment page, or the page for Xtramath that was sent home at the beginning of the year. So hopefully you did that, or know how it works and know how to do it. And the only other thing I'll say is for your PIN, because that I can tell you comes from your lunch pin, right? The 4 numbers that you use for your lunch pin in school. So those are the things you need to get onto Xtramath. And once you do, it's very, very simple, because it's just math fact practice. I know my own children at home. I have a son in 2nd grade and a daughter in 4th grade. They actually have to do Xtramath every single day. And they go on, they see Mr. C, gives them directions, they do math fact practice, and after about 8 to 10 minutes, Mr. C will say, you are done. And when he says that for you, you can be finished. But I would like everybody to go on and do that Xtramath practice today, and hopefully we're doing that regularly. And then last but not least, something that is really fun, but really educational, and I'll show you the 2 ways again. It's called Room Recess, and I have looked at this with all the kids who have had me in the past before. I typed that in, and I could get to the site this way, or I could go again through Portal, where I will look at this computers and technology section, scroll down, look for Room Recess, and I could either go to the main page, which looks like this. It's separated into categories. I could go on to anything that they have for fun. Or I could click on my grade, and that might be a little bit better for you guys to do, because if you clicked on, say, this game, Fraction Fighters, but you're in 1st grade or 2nd grade, you're not really sure what fractions are or how they work, or haven't learned that in math yet, it might be too hard for you. So you can do any one, but if they're too difficult, it might be better to go up here to the right and see how it is K 1, 2, 3 up to 6. If you're in 1st grade, click on the number 1 for 1st grade, And then it's going to give you games that are really, really fun games that have to do with different school subjects or learning. And we could just scroll through and see Monkey in the Middle has to do with letters and words and reading. Sight Word Safari, again, same thing. Meagle Math has to do more with math, just like Bubble Count and what's the other one? Hold on. Where's the one I like the best? Here it is. Boom Blocks. That one I like a lot. It's really fun. And there's ones to do with words and letters. There's ones to do with more just like puzzles and thinking, matching, all types of different things. Where these games they're educational, but they're really fun. It's similar to ABC, but if you have been on ABC a lot, played the games on there a lot, this is a little change up where you could do that for computer class today and have something as a little fun to do. So we have those three things, and I hope you do them. I hope you do well. It's Raz Kids, Extra Math, and then a little fun time picking things that you might enjoy on room recess. All right, first grade and second grade, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next week.